Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're about to dive deep into one of the most fascinating and unexpectedly valuable coins in modern American history, the 2007 Montana State Quarter. Yes, you heard that right. This humble 25-cent piece might just be worth tens of thousands of dollars, if you know what to look for. Now, if you're new to coin collecting or even if you've been in the game for a while, the Montana State Quarter might not be the first coin that comes to mind when we talk about high-value treasures. But trust me, after you hear the full story behind this coin, its design, symbolism, rare minting errors, and sky-high auction prices, you'll be rushing to check your coin jars and old collections. Let's start with the basics. In 2007, the United States Mint released the Montana Quarter as part of the hugely popular 50-state quarters program. This initiative, launched in 1999, was designed to celebrate each of the 50 states with a unique design that reflected the state's identity and heritage. For Montana, the design was bold, powerful, and deeply symbolic. On the reverse side of the Montana Quarter, you'll find a stunning image of a bison skull hovering over a sweeping Montana landscape. This haunting yet majestic design was chosen to represent the rich Native American history of the state, as well as its rugged and vast natural beauty. The bison skull is more than just an image. It symbolizes the spirit of the American West, survival, strength, and the deep cultural ties between the land and its people. Beneath the skull is a wide-open field with mountain ranges in the background, perfectly capturing the nickname of Montana, the Big Sky Country. It's a beautifully detailed design, full of storytelling and symbolic power. Now let's talk about what makes this coin truly exciting for collectors, the rarity and the valuable errors. You see, while millions of these quarters were minted, only a very small number possessed the kind of mistakes that drive collectors wild. We're talking about minting errors. The kind that happen during the production process and result in one-of-a-kind or extremely limited variations. One of the most sought-after types of error found on the 2007 Montana Quarter is what's known as a double die. In this case, parts of the design, such as the lettering or the bison skull itself, may appear doubled or slightly offset, creating a dramatic and easily visible effect. Another rare error is an off-center strike, where the design isn't perfectly aligned with the coin's surface. These off-center strikes can be quite dramatic, with parts of the design or lettering pushed toward the edge or even partially cut off. Then there are coins struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the quarter design was accidentally stamped onto a coin blank intended for another denomination, like a nickel or dime. These types of errors are incredibly rare and extremely desirable. Collectors go absolutely crazy for these kinds of anomalies. Why? Because error coins are like nature's little accidents, beautiful, rare, and impossible to reproduce. They add a whole new dimension of intrigue to a collection. And the Montana State Quarter, in particular, has become one of the most unexpected stars of the 50-state quarters series because of the discovery of these rare minting errors. Of course, the coin's value depends heavily on its condition. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, that is, coins that were never used in everyday transactions and still look shiny and new, are worth far more than their worn counterparts. Add a rare minting error on top of that, and the value skyrockets. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. How much could a Montana State Quarter from 2007 actually be worth if it has one of these ultra-rare errors and is in pristine condition? Are you ready? One of these special Montana quarters, with a rare minting error and in flawless, uncirculated condition, was once sold to an eager collector for an eye-popping $79,000. That's right, $79,000 for a single quarter. So the next time you're sorting through your change, don't dismiss those state quarters too quickly. That little bison skull from Montana might just be hiding in plain sight, waiting to change your life. Top 2, we're unlocking the secrets behind a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding extraordinary value. We're talking about the Maryland State Quarter from the year 2000, a coin that has surprised collectors with its rich symbolism, rare variations, and yes, a jaw-dropping value for certain rare versions. Stick with me until the end, because one of these quarters sold for a price that will absolutely blow your mind. Let's begin with the basics. But trust me, there's nothing basic about this coin. The Maryland Quarter was the seventh release in the legendary 50 state quarters program by the U.S. Mint, which ran from 1999 through 2008. This series was one of the most ambitious and beloved coin programs in American history, and it brought state pride, history, and artistry to the palms of millions. Now, the reverse of the Maryland Quarter features the stunning State House Dome, the Maryland State House in Annapolis. But this isn't just any old government building. This dome is the oldest state capitol still in continuous legislative use, and it's made entirely of wood without the use of nails. That's right, no nails, just craftsmanship. Surrounding the dome are clusters of white oak leaves, representing the Y oak, the state tree, and a symbol of strength, endurance, and Maryland's natural beauty. But we're not just here for a history lesson, we're here to find out why this quarter that you might have passed off as pocket change, could actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So let's talk rarity, let's talk errors, and let's talk collector frenzy. While millions of Maryland quarters were minted for general circulation, only a tiny number possessed the rare qualities that turn a 25-cent piece into a coin collector's dream. And the magic is all in the mistakes, minting errors that slipped past quality control and made their way into the hands of the public. One of the most sought-after types of mint errors on the Maryland 2000 quarter is known as a double die. In these cases, parts of the design appear to be stamped twice, most noticeably on the lettering or details like the windows or bricks of the State House. The doubling effect is visible to the naked eye and is highly prized by error coin enthusiasts. Another rare and valuable mistake is the off-center strike, where the coin's image is misaligned and appears skewed or incomplete. These coins are not only visually striking, but each one is unique. No two off-center errors are exactly the same. That exclusivity is what gets collectors reaching for their wallets. Then there's the holy grail of mint errors, the wrong planchet strike. This happens when the Maryland quarter design was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a completely different coin, like a dime or a foreign coin. These are incredibly rare and very exciting finds. When one shows up at auction, it sends shockwaves through the collecting community. But even without an error, a Maryland quarter in flawless, uncirculated condition, often called mint state, can fetch a good sum, especially if it's been professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. The shinier, cleaner, and more perfect the coin, the more collectors are willing to pay. And now, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. How much could a Maryland 2000 state quarter be worth if it has the right mint error? And it's in top-tier condition? Ready for it? One extremely rare example, with a rare mint error and graded at an ultra-high mint state, was once sold at auction for an astonishing $77,000. Yes, you heard that right. $77,000. That's not a typo. That's a fortune sitting in the palm of your hand. So before you toss that state quarter into a vending machine or let it collect dust in your change jar, take a moment to look closer. Check the details. Look for signs of doubling, misalignment, or anything that feels different. Because that small coin from the year 2000 might just be your hidden treasure. Top 3, we're diving into a coin that many people overlook, but collectors know holds a fascinating story and, in the right condition, a surprising value. It's time to take a closer look at the United States Virginia State Quarter from the year 2000. You might be holding on to one right now and have no idea how valuable it truly is. Now, before you go digging through your drawers or spare change jars, stay with me, because this coin has a story packed with history, art, and a few mysterious minting mistakes that could turn it into a serious payday. Let's rewind to the year 2000, the turn of the millennium. The U.S. Mint was well into its groundbreaking 50 state quarters program. Each state had the chance to showcase a unique piece of its heritage on a circulating coin, and Virginia delivered something powerful. On the reverse side of the Virginia quarter, you'll see a trio of ships, the Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, sailing across the water. These weren't just any ships. They were the vessels that carried the first permanent English settlers to Jamestown in 1607. This coin was released to celebrate the 400th anniversary of the Jamestown settlement, one of the most historically significant moments in early American history. Above the ships, you'll notice the words, Jamestown 1607 to 2007, and beneath them, Quadricentennial. That design isn't just a work of numismatic art. It's a tribute to the origins of the nation itself. So how does a coin like this go from being worth 25 cents to being worth thousands? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and perhaps most exciting of all, minting errors. Let's break this down. Millions of Virginia state quarters were produced in 2000, which would normally make them pretty common. But not all coins are created equal. Only a tiny fraction of these coins contain the minting mistakes that collectors prize. These errors aren't just quirks, they're incredibly rare flaws that can turn a common coin into a highly sought-after collectible point. One of the most valuable errors seen on the Virginia quarter is a double die, where parts of the coin's design, usually the ship sails, text, or masts, appear to be stamped twice, creating a shadow or doubling effect. If you notice a second outline or blurry text, you could be looking at one of these rare examples. Another error is the off-center strike, where the coin's image isn't aligned properly and ends up partially missing or pushed toward one side. Depending on how far off the design is and how much of the original image remains visible, these coins can be worth a hefty sum. But one of the most exciting errors collectors look for is the wrong planchet error. When a Virginia quarter was accidentally struck on a coin blank intended for a different denomination, such as a nickel or a foreign coin. These are incredibly rare and almost always fetch big prices when they hit the auction block. Now let's talk about condition, because that matters a lot. A Virginia state quarter that's been passed around in pocket change for 2 decades probably won't catch a collector's attention. But a mint state or uncirculated coin, one that's never been used and still has its original luster, is in a whole different category. These coins are often graded on a scale by professional services, and high grades like MS 67, MS 68, or even MS 69 are the dream. Collectors go wild for high-grade coins that also have a minting error, because that combination of rarity, condition, and uniqueness makes for an investment piece that's not only beautiful but extremely valuable. So if you've got a Virginia quarter from 2000 lying around, it's time to take a closer look. Check both sides carefully. Look for doubling, odd edges, misaligned images, or coins that feel a little off in size or weight. And if it still has that clean, untouched, mint state shine, congratulations, you may be sitting on something special. Now here comes the part you've been waiting for. How much can a Virginia state quarter from the year 2000 actually be worth? Well, one particular Virginia quarter, struck with a rare error and preserved in nearly perfect condition, was sold at auction for a staggering $75,000. Yes, you heard that right. $75,000, all for a single quarter. So the next time you're sorting through change, remember, treasure doesn't always look like gold bars or ancient artifacts. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight, sitting quietly in your coin jar, just waiting to be discovered. We're zooming in on a truly special piece of American coinage, the 1999 New Jersey state quarter. Now, at first glance, it might look like just another quarter, maybe one you've spent at the vending machine or dropped in your change jar. But this coin is no ordinary piece of metal. In fact, there are versions of this coin that are so rare, so unique, and so sought after by collectors that they could be worth a small fortune. One specific version could bring you a jaw-dropping $74,000. Yes, you heard that right. But don't skip ahead. We're going to explore exactly why this coin is so special, what makes certain versions of it incredibly valuable, and what you should look for if you think you have one of these hidden gems. Let's get into it. Back in 1999, the United States Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, one of the most ambitious and popular coin programs in American history. Each state had its own quarter, featuring a unique design celebrating its history, culture, and contributions to the nation. New Jersey's quarter was the third to be released, and it honored one of the most iconic moments of the American Revolution. On the reverse side of the New Jersey quarter, you'll find a beautifully detailed image of General George Washington crossing the Delaware River. This moment was a turning point in the fight for independence, and the coin captures the determination, courage, and unity of the American spirit. The design includes the words "Crossroads of the Revolution," a fitting tribute to New Jersey's crucial role in American history. But what makes this coin valuable isn't just its historical design. It's the rare and unique minting errors that occurred during production. Now let's talk about what really makes collectors sit up and take notice. Like all coins, not every New Jersey quarter came off the press perfectly. Some coins were struck with noticeable errors. These are the coins that can skyrocket in value. One of the most sought-after errors is what's known as a double die. This means that the coin's design was struck twice, creating a shadow-like effect on the letters or images. In some 1999 New Jersey quarters, you can see doubling in the word Liberty, the date, or even in the fine details of Washington's crossing. These errors are not only rare, They're striking to look at and highly desirable among coin collectors. Another error involves off-center strikes, where the image on the coin isn't aligned correctly. Imagine a quarter where Washington is slightly off to the side or the edge of the coin is missing detail. That's not just a curiosity, it's a potential treasure. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. There are also instances of planchet errors. That's when the blank metal disc used to make the coin wasn't properly prepared. Some of these coins have a different color tone, weight, or even parts of other coins stamped onto them. These mistakes are incredibly rare, and when they surface, collectors are often willing to pay a premium. And here's something that collectors truly love: the fact that this was one of the first coins in the State Quarters series. Because of that, there's always been high demand for pristine versions of the 1999 issues, especially those with errors. The New Jersey Quarter sits in that sweet spot. Early in the series, visually compelling, and tied to a moment in U.S. history that every American learns about in school. How much could one of these coins actually be worth? Well, in average circulated condition, most New Jersey quarters are still worth 25 cents. But if you happen to own one of the rare error versions, especially one with a clean double die strike or a dramatic off-center error, and it's in mint or uncirculated condition, you're holding something truly special. In fact, one exceptionally rare 1999 New Jersey State Quarter with multiple mint errors and in flawless condition has been valued at a jaw-dropping $74,000. That's right, $74,000 for a single quarter. Just imagine finding one of these in a coin jar, an old drawer, or a family collection passed down through generations. So, what should you do next? Grab your coin collection, your pocket change, your old piggy banks, and start looking. Check the details on your New Jersey quarters closely. Look for doubling in the text, off-center images, strange textures or colors, or anything that seems even slightly unusual. You might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. And if you think you've found something rare, don't clean it. Preserve it carefully and have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service. Who knows? That ordinary-looking quarter might just change your life. Top 5, we're diving into one of the most exciting finds from the 50 State Quarters series, the 2002 Ohio State Quarter. Believe it or not, there's a version of this seemingly ordinary coin that has sold for an absolutely jaw-dropping price. Stick with me to the end, because you won't believe how much it's worth. Let's just say it's enough to turn your pocket change into a life-changing moment. Now, let's take a step back and talk about why this particular coin stands out. In 1999, the United States Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program to honor each state with its own unique design. Ohio's quarter was released in 2002 and quickly became one of the most iconic in the series, not just for its design, but for what it represents and the rare errors that make certain versions highly sought after by collectors around the world. The Ohio State Quarter features a bold design that captures the spirit of American innovation and history. On the reverse, it proudly displays an astronaut and an early aircraft, along with the caption, "Birthplace of Aviation Pioneers." That's right, Ohio is home to the Wright brothers, and also the state that gave us astronaut legend John Glenn. This connection to aviation history makes the coin deeply meaningful and collectible, but here's where things start to get really interesting. While millions of these quarters were minted for circulation, only a tiny fraction of them contain unique characteristics that skyrocket their value. I'm talking about minting errors, small, often unintentional variations that turn a regular coin into a collector's dream. Some of the most valuable Ohio quarters have what are called double die errors, where the coin's image or text appears slightly doubled due to a mistake in the striking process. You might see this doubling on the word Ohio, or in the details of the astronaut's suit or the plane's wings. These errors are easy to miss if you're not looking closely, but for collectors, spotting one is like striking gold. Another rare feature comes in the form of off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned on the coin's surface. Some of these misalignments are so extreme that parts of the design are missing entirely, creating a dramatic and unusual appearance. Then there are die cracks and cut errors, where parts of the die used to stamp the coin break or chip, leaving raised lines or blobs of extra metal on the finished quarter. While these might seem like defects to the untrained eye, to collectors they're pure treasure. Even more rare are the so-called wrong planchet errors, where the Ohio design was mistakenly struck on a coin blank meant for another denomination or even another metal composition. These are the true unicorns of the coin world. And if you come across one, you're holding a piece of minting history that only a handful of people will ever get to see, let alone OWN.SO. Why does this coin hold such high appeal in the collector's market? It's the perfect storm of popularity, historical value, striking design, and the potential for rare, dramatic errors. The State Quarters program already has a nostalgic grip on millions of Americans who remember collecting them as kids or adults. Combine that widespread interest with the scarcity of these high-value error coins, and you've got a coin that's not only collectible, but incredibly desirable. Now, let's talk value. Most Ohio quarters you find in your pocket or tucked in an old drawer might only be worth face value. But if you're lucky enough to find one with a known rare error, especially in uncirculated or mint state condition, the price tag jumps dramatically. And here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. There is one known version of the 2002 Ohio State Quarter, struck with a rare and dramatic minting error, that has been valued at a staggering $70,000. That's right, $70,000. Just imagine finding a coin that was once worth 25 cents, and now it could buy you a brand new car, or even pay off your student loans. This is why collectors are constantly on the hunt. It's not just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the beauty of imperfection, and the passion for history wrapped in metal.so. The next time you're going through your spare change or digging through an old coin jar, take a closer look. That ordinary-looking Ohio quarter might just be hiding a secret that could change your life. Make sure to check the edges, the design alignment, and every detail. You never know, you might be the next person to stumble across one of these incredible treasures. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content about rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell. There are so many more coin stories to share, and you won't want to miss a single one. Thanks for watching. And as always, happy hunting and keep checking those coins.